Okay, so we're going to start off tonight's training with talking about the sweet spots for advisors, clients, and the company. Okay, three things that I've always looked at when Leanne and I were starting Experior. We wanted to look at what were the products that were going to be best for the clients, number one, the advisors, number two, and the company, number three. If you want proof of that, we don't cut your pay when you sell products from carriers that pay us less. We still pay the same to the advisor. So we don't want to discriminate against products and pay less just because they pay us a bigger bonus. The only products we do discriminate against, right? It's almost like against the law, okay? And we have advisors that break the law around here, not like I'm talking internal Experior kind of law. And they actually sell providers that are not on our platform because they're smarter than me, okay? So they have to go to outside products and sell things that are not on our platform. Now, that said, we facilitate it through another MGA, largest MGA in Canada. Actually, they facilitate the products for the people that are smarter than me. They can sell, the products that aren't on our shelf. Tonight, I'm not going to be able to get into all of the products that we have on the main shelf, right? Because there's 19 companies, so it's going to take longer than just one session. So I'm going to go through seven or eight of our main providers. And I'm going to go through the sweet spots, okay? How many of y'all think it'd be really cool if there was like a way that you could just have a list of product providers and you knew exactly when it would be best off for those companies? Would that come in handy? Okay, so after the training, I'm going to tell you a secret that's on the website, and if you went through it in detail, you would have already known. But it is tricky to find some stuff on there. So I'm going to tell you guys where it is. It's already there, but I'm going to tell you where it is. You didn't know that, did you, Nathan? No, Nathaniel. Nathaniel. So, okay. So just to get started, we're going to talk here. First of all, these are some of our great providers and some of the sweet spots. Again, this training, well, actually, what's cool is all the people that come to my trainings, I have yet to see anyone sell products outside of the sweet spots and the main carriers. I've yet to have it happen. The only people that I've ever recruited that actually go outside of our sweet spots and all the main carriers that we already have that can do absolutely everything for your client, no question about it. The only ones that have ever deviated are the ones that come to Experior from the MGA world, and they're already too smart for me, okay? But really it's because they're just not coachable is actually what it is. It's funny. But I don't have to worry about insulting anyone because anyone that comes to my trainings aren't the ones that actually understand this anyway, so it's not like they're not here to hear it anyways, right? So that's okay, right, Willie? That's good, buddy. You look sharp. So let's talk about Le Capital. I'm going to put Le Capital up first for one reason, because I like them. They're actually, I would still say they're my favorite, but I also know that there's only certain times that it makes sense to sell Le Capital. See, just because they pay us really well, they pay you guys really well, they got some great features on the product, they're not always the best product, okay? But I'm going to tell you where I personally believe they kill everyone in the industry, okay? But I'll also tell you where they suck. See, I'm not a wholesaler for Le Capital, so I can be straight with it. Okay? So now let's check it out. Built into every product at no additional cost, there's something called a loss of autonomy benefit, okay? What that means is if you can't do 4 of the 6 daily functions of living, then you'll... If you can't do 4 of the 6 daily functions of living, then you can receive up to $200,000 without having to die, right? Like basically, if you're wheelchair bound, you can't eat, bathe, clothe, transport, toilet, and one other one. What's that? Bathing. Did I say bathing? Bathing, eating. I can't remember all 6 off the top of my head, but if you can't do 4 of the 6, so again, you're obviously permanently disabled, but they'll actually release up to $200,000 of the face amount, 50% maximum of the total face amount, okay? That's built in at no extra cost. There's only one other company to my knowledge that offers it, and we'll be talking about them tonight as well, okay? Now, do you guys know what long-term care insurance is? By definition, long-term care is the same as loss of autonomy, except long-term care means you can't do 2 of the 6 daily functions of living. But the neat part here is that's free, right? And the reason why 25-year-olds and 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds even don't buy a loss of autonomy benefit or don't buy like long-term care is because they're too young to really be worried about that kind of stuff, right? See, like when you're 35 years old and you have a couple of young kids, you're thinking about life insurance now because, you know, if I die, I need my family taken care of. Critical illness, man, my dad had a heart attack at age 42, right? You start thinking about those things, but you don't think about, I'm going to have a nurse come to my house and take care of me, right? That's what long-term care is for. People don't start thinking about long-term care until it's too late, because by the time you're 65, the premiums are through the roof. You can't afford it. But if you had bought it when you were 30, it would have been affordable. But it's a double-edged sword because no one's thinking about it because it's such a long-term vision to buy this product. But again, when you sell the Capital, any of their products, it's built in at no extra cost. Okay? Now, I know for some of you, I'm going to go back. Okay, now if you guys want, I'll actually put this presentation on the website. But if you're the type that needs to write things down so it goes into your brain, because I have like this thing where if I write it, it's like a mechanical, it actually goes up into my brain and it stays there. But if you're only writing it down because you're afraid you'll never see this again, it's okay. I can actually put it up on our website and you can see it again. Yeah, but if you want to take notes, please do take notes if you're that type like me where you have to or else it won't go in your head. But if you'd rather just sit back, chill, fall asleep, it'll be back on the rest. You know, there's one guy, I won't say his name in case he's on the webinar tonight. Every single meeting I do, the dude falls asleep. I'm like, really? Like, and I'm like, I'm preaching it, right? And this guy is just out. I won't say his name. So next benefit.
Please do. Call him at
No. So Excel, he's probably sitting there sleeping at the computer anyway.
He knows who he is now.
So now we've got also the accelerated death benefit at no extra cost. A lot of companies have this, but it's nice when it's actually in the contract. Okay, it's kind of an unwritten rule in the industry that most companies will advance some money if you're terminally ill. This one, it's in the contract. They'll actually advance you $250,000 if you're diagnosed with 2 years or less to live. Okay, now that by definition is pretty good. I used to work at a company. I spent 10 years at a company, and I thought they were the only company that had this benefit. And actually, by definition, it wasn't even as good as this one. You had to have 6 months or less to live, right? Whereas this one, it's expanded over 2 years or less to live. So why do you think that's important, guys? Why would that be a selling feature to a family?
Because you have a lot of extra costs when something like that happens.
Right? Maybe you want to die a little bit more comfortably, like in your home with a nurse helping you at home so you can be with your family, right? Instead of in a hospital with another patient right beside you dying, right? You know what I'm saying? So it might be something like that. Any other reasons why it might be nice to be able to cash in on that?
Yeah, maybe the person didn't buy critical illness and they become critically ill that is terminal. So that would be good.
Yeah, so it's like if the critical illness becomes terminal, obviously now they have the money, right? But medical expense is a big one, right? Because it can be more comfortable. Terminal means you're dying, right? Anything else? Barry, you got a comment there?
No, sir.
No? What's that? Exactly. And that to me was the big, not always when someone's terminally ill are they going to be able to make memories, but a lot of times they are, right? How many times cancer patients, when you know they're terminally ill, sometimes there's good days and there's bad days. There's good weeks and bad weeks, right? So now they might be able to go out and make some memories with their family. And it's nice to have that money, right? So that to me is huge. That's the kind of conversation you can have with people. So for me, when you're looking at life insurance policies, I know some people go, Jamie, do you guys have RBC? I'll say no for 2 reasons. I'm not here to bash them, but they're a bank. So yeah, I ain't gonna bash them. They're a bloody bank. Like, why are you gonna sell the bank's product? They're making record profits every quarter. They're trying to put insurance agents out of business and have their own little branches inside their branches. They're trying to break by the way, the rules, you have to have a separate entity for insurance and banking. They're trying to break the rules so that you can have them all in one. Now you're going to have someone that's uneducated, doesn't know how to do a proper analysis and planning for the family, that they're just going to hire these students, get them a license, they can start peddling it like they peddle Visas and MasterCards. I'm sorry, they're a bank. I'm not going to sell the product. Number one. Number two, do you think they have these benefits built in? No, they don't. They're a stripped down, bare bones life insurance policy, but no questions asked. If you die and it's a legitimate claim, you're going to pay. I'm not saying it's a bad product. I'm just saying there's better products. So I don't care if RBC is 30 cents cheaper a month. I'm not selling a client RBC. That's just not going to happen, okay? And I could actually go on to like 3 or 4 more other points, but I'll just leave it at that, okay? So next, any questions on that? Barry, you got a couple questions there?
No question.
Oh, I see it popping up. Is that you talking?
Yes.
You getting bored? Starting a conversation. Hey, how you doing? Okay. Next one. Hold on. There's one other benefit. So loss of autonomy. Okay. Accelerated death benefit. And I can't believe I missed the third one. The third benefit is the organ transplant benefit. Okay. if you undergo an organ transplant, La Capitale will pay you up to $250,000, 50% of your face amount. Okay? And guess what? Did you all know that you could have an organ transplant and still live a long, long life?
Yes.
Like you could live even a normal life to the normal life expectancy, right? Sometimes the heart you had wasn't good. The one they put in is even better, and you're going to live to your 85 now, right? So it all depends on what the transplant is. But my son, unfortunately, some of you guys know, but a year ago underwent an organ transplant. Well, we didn't have a La Capitale policy. He was sick when I was still working at the practice company, so we didn't have any features and benefits like this. But had he have had a La Capitale policy and he underwent that transplant, we would have got 50% payout of the life insurance amount. I think that's another huge benefit, and it's again, it's a free benefit. That benefit, to my knowledge, is the only one of its kind in the industry, right? That's attached to the policy. So I just listed 3 living benefits on a death policy. We call it life insurance, but really it's a death policy. But there's 3 living benefits built in. So when I'm pricing out La Capitale, I'm always looking at them and I'm seeing them in the top 10, top 5, usually within dollars and cents of everyone else. They're my go-to in most cases. Now, here's when they're specifically my go-to, okay? Because now that's the benefit of all the products they sell. But which products do they sell that are really like, the sweet spots? Here's my opinion. They're 20, 25, 30, and 35-year terms. I'll be honest with you. You get into the 25, 30, 35 term marks, they are a little pricier. But the 20-year term is one of the most competitive on the market, usually within dollars and cents, okay? So why would I market those products? Well, and not their 10-year term, for example. 2 reasons. Number 1, their 10-year term is not that competitive, but it also pays a lower FYC than other products out there as well. So why would I sell something to make less money when I can sell an equivalent product and make more money? But 55 FYC, just so you guys know, is the highest in the entire industry on a 20-year term and above, okay? That's cool, right? So that means out of 55 FYC, if you're at the entry-level contract, you would earn 77% of the annual premium. If you were at the senior financial level contract, you would make 93.5% of the annual premium. If you were at a sales manager contract, you would earn 110% of the annual premium. And if you were at an executive director contract, you would earn 132% of the annual premium. So what does that mean? If I sell $1,000 annual premium, the client's paying $83.33 per month, about $1,000 a year. I'm going to make $1,320 myself because I'm an executive director. Oh, you're the CEO. I am. I'm going to retire one day and I'm going to live as an executive director because that's better. Okay, that's actually a fact. You're a sales manager, so that means you're at 100% bonus level, so you're going to make 110%. 100% of that, right? So 55 plus 55. Yours is easy math, right? Don't stay there for that reason because the executive's a little better, right? Because every time you make that sale, you make 110%. I make a 23% or 22% spread because I'm 132. You're directly anonymized, so I get 132, you get 110. Subtract it every time you make that sale. You're just giving me that money. Thank you. Okay? I'm just saying you could have the same contracts, right? And you're about to, so that's good. And then the T100. This is the other time I really like La Capitale. Okay, I just seen someone sold one of these recently. What's happened? Well, yesterday actually. T100. I like their T100 because it's not just pure insurance. It actually has a benefit where after 10 years of paying into it, if you cancel the policy, your policy is actually paid up equivalent to premiums paid. That's kind of cool, right? So if someone gets to the point, maybe they can't afford the policy anymore, right? Maybe have some hard times. At least they got something for all that money they paid over 10 years plus, right? Or maybe they won the lottery, right? Or they got an inheritance and they don't need the coverage anymore. Well, at least they still got something, right? It's a little icing on the cake when they die. But the other cool part is, and I like this part, because at age 75, that's when sometimes people start losing their minds, right? More common than when you're 25, obviously, right? So what happens if you lose your mind and you forget where you bank, right? And you stop paying attention to your bills and stuff. Or what if things just get really financially tight after age 75? What I like about this, it actually builds in a cash value. Even though it's a term to 100, term to 100s don't generally have a cash value at all. This one does, but it's still priced as cheap as a T100, but it builds a cash value at 75. So it can keep the policy in force if the client starts missing payments, Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. And there's more. Like their critical illness product. The critical illness product, the standalone product. They have riders, right? Like a lot of companies, you can put it as a rider on the policy. But if your client, wants to have a separate critical illness policy, this would be one reason why. Critical illness has a 75% return of premium after 10 years if you check the return of premium box. I always check it. It's a little bit more money, but now they get money back, okay? Or after 15 years, if you select return of premium, you get 100% of your money back. So how much did it cost you? It was free. Now, there's a little caveat to that. It actually costs you $60 per year times 15 years. That's $900, which is the policy fee. You don't get the policy fee back. So they keep the $900. You get back the $20,000, okay, that you paid into it. Now, if you make a claim, that means you win, and you don't get your money back at the end, okay? Did you know that? So I like selling this. If I was to sell this product, maybe if someone had a sense of humor, I would do it this way. I'd say, hey, listen, I'm going to sell you this product, and it's kind of like a lottery ticket, and it works like this. You're going to pay me $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever the premium is. You're going to pay me that much money, and if you, and it's like buying a lottery ticket. Would you? Oh, sorry, I said that wrong. Take all that back. So if I could offer you a lottery program where you had to pay $100 or $200 a month to buy your lottery ticket, and you had the chance to win, but if you didn't win after 15 years of playing the lottery, I'm going to give you all your money back. Who ever played the lottery?
Yeah.
Well, then why not pay the lottery with critical illness, right? There's probably a 25% chance that every single person in this room will get sick and be critically ill at some point in their lifetime, possibly in the next 15 years. There's a high probability of critical illness. 1 in 3 by age 65 it is, right? So, and then again, depending on our ages in this room, right? So 1 in 3 of our clients are going to cash in and win. See, if you have a heart attack, you win. You get money. You get the critical. You don't think that's funny? Listen. I can tell you an example.
You just said heart attack. You didn't say die.
That's right, exactly. Did you know 90+ % of men that have a heart attack don't die? So this is a true story. I had a client call me. His
Just because
name.
we didn't succeed in the
So listen. The client calls me in December. Okay. Now I've only sold in my life on 1 or 2 hands. I can count how many times I've sold critical illness. Okay. Shame on me. Okay. I just never got into this game, and now that I know about it and I'm passionate about it, I'm not in the field anymore. Right. I don't have time to be in the field with clients, and I'd love to be, but it just time doesn't allow it. So I haven't sold much critical illness, but a few years ago I sold this client, East Indian friend of mine, calls me up. Jimmy, hey, how you doing? What's his name? I couldn't my tongue. No. Anyway,
Go with Ahmed. Go ahead.
no, it was I can't remember. But he called me up. Jamie, he goes, do I have the critical illness? And I said, that's a great question. I'd have to look into your policy. That's it, delve in it. So he calls me. Are you sure?
Yeah.
We're going with it. Don't worry about it.
Go with that.
You know what's funny? I'm in Guelph, and everyone thinks all white people. I got a bunch of East Indian clients. But anyway, he calls me and goes, do I have the critical illness? And I'm like, I'd have to look into that. He goes, okay, I'm just in the hospital. I'm like, what happened? He goes, I just had a heart attack. I said, oh, geez. He goes, yeah, I want to know if I have any critical illness. He goes, I'm having a quintuple bypass tomorrow. I'm like,
Oh my.
he's calling me. So I'm like, oh, geez, man, I'm so sorry. Everything okay? He goes, yeah. And this guy's 42 years old, healthy as ever, no problem, works in the factory, good shape, everything else, eats, he's a vegetarian, right? That's probably the problem. Gotta eat some meat. No.
That's why.
No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, listen, all those poor fruits and veggies. But anyway, I end up looking into it, and I'm telling you guys, I'm a little scared. I'm like, oh my God, I probably didn't sell it because I never sell it. This is the one time, thank God, I sold him $50,000 rider on his life insurance policy. I was like, oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
I call him back and, hey, Dalvinder, how you doing? Oh, I'm okay. Hey, you got the coverage. Oh, that's great. He was excited. So it's almost like it almost alleviated a lot of the pain. Right?
Yeah.
I'll bring it home a little closer. Leanne and I were in Alberta a couple months ago doing a bunch of interviews and everything. I'd never worked so hard in my life. I mean, we were just killing it every day and night, day and night, day and night. We thought we were going to have some downtime. We didn't. We literally only got to leave the hotel once to go and have a real meal. Everything else, it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the hotel the whole bloody time. We got to know everyone there. It was fun. It was hard work. But by the last day, I got like sick. I thought I was like, Leanne, I'll tell you, I thought I was dying. I'm like, there's something wrong with me. I don't feel right. It's the sickest I've ever been in my life. And my chest was tight. I'm like, I think I'm having a heart attack. I'm like, oh my God, man. And then she's like looking up stuff. She goes, you're probably fine. Suck it up. I'm like, no, I think I'm like, but anyway, I thought I was having a heart attack. I really thought like, oh my God, like I'm so stressed. I got so much on my plate. I've been working harder. And by the way, we took a vacation a couple weeks ago. All I needed, I'm ready to kill it again for another 5 years. It's my next vacation. Now, I want to take a vacation at least once a year, but we're so busy. It's like, you get going and you're in. But anyway, I thought I was having a heart attack. And then there was a part of me going, I hope it is. I got like $200,000 of critical illness insurance. This is a minor heart attack. I'm not on the floor. I could probably walk into a merge. I got like 200 G's. I was so excited. Then it turns out it was just freaking cold and I was being a baby, right? But my point is, right? Hey, come on. All right, 200 grand. Who here would take a heart attack for 200 grand if it was only mild? It was just a mild one. And assuming you have enough life insurance in place, I don't need insurance. I got more insurance than I'll ever need. I'll take a mild heart attack for that. If anything, I'll be healthier now because I don't take my life more serious, right? Like, I got to stop eating all the crap and the salt and stuff, right? Anyway, maybe I'm just the only whack not here. But
I think that might be a little bit morbid, but I mean.
Oh, there's 30 people on here. I got to watch what I say. I'm going to offend someone. Jeez. I'm not doing webinars anymore because I never know who's listening. I'm going to offend someone. So anyway, so that's cool, right? You get all your money back. Imagine playing the lottery, and if you get sick and almost have a heart attack or do have a heart attack, you win, right? But if you don't, you get all your money back, right? So that's cool.
Do they have that for children critical illness?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean the ROO. Return on premium. Do they have it on children?
As a matter of fact, they do. And I sold actually one of my favorite clients. We did a policy for the 3 children. I can't remember the coverage, but we ended up doing it was like $180 a month or something for the 3 kids. We put them all on the same plan, right? Like we put as riders, and then we had to do 2 separate apps because only 2 primaries can be on one app. So we did 2 separate apps. It was actually my real estate agent, and we ended up doing it. And it was 100% return of premium, but it's a different product. It's like it's like paid up after 15 years, but they're covered for 20 or something. Or no, it's paid up after 20 years, but there's a return of premium after 15 years. So it works a little bit different. It's a fabulous product. I've only sold one, and that was probably one of the last few sales I've done. Yeah. Well, I have critical illness. I have everything. Oh, yeah, sure. So, yeah, but see, again, with critical illness, I also look at life insurance. Like, does the family need the life insurance, right? If financially it's going to ruin a family member to not have the critical illness on kid, then you should have critical illness. For me, personally, I'd like to think that the rest of our kids, because our one son obviously wasn't so lucky, but for me, I'm like, if something happens to our kid, we're good. Like, it's like, whatever it's going to cost and stuff, it's not going to affect us, right, in our situation. So it depends on the clientele that you're sitting with, right? So
well, you got to remember, if your child's sick, right, where do you want to?
Yeah. Well, that's right. But that's what I'm saying with our company, with our business, if our child's sick, I can be there 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in a different state in our business.
Yeah.
This is the reason why you want to be an executive director and override 100 people or 200 or 500, 750 people now. That's why, because that's freedom of time, right? But that's what I mean. Like, everyone needs different products at different stages in their life, right? Just like if someone is retired and they have $5,000 a month of income coming in, that's why their need for insurance is so low, because they're not relying on it, right? Just like a business owner, a lot of times it's not relying on it. I know for sure if I got knocked out of this business for the next 6 months due to a health challenge or something, I know that our business is just going to continue to flourish. Like, we have all the leaders, we have all the staff in place. We might miss a couple deals that I might have been able to work together to happen, but the business is still going to go, right? Unless you guys all decide to retire if I get sick. I don't know. You guys plan on retiring if I get sick? Somebody want to buy a critical illness policy on me, so you could. You split this out with me, we'll do it. No. Yeah.
Children CI policies, if they have family history, do they have to go medical?
Yes, no medical, but they'll either decline it or accept it, right? Depending on family history. So children never have to undergo the medicals, but they will decline it if like both parents had, heart attacks at age 30. I mean, that's likelihood that the child's going to get declined coverage. They look at the parents, and same with if one of the parents has polycystic kidney disease, which is often passed on to the next family members. Then yes, genetic. Then they'll probably get declined for coverage as well. Right? Disability insurance has 100% return of premium on it for people under the age of 40. It's 75% of return of premium for under 41 to 45. And I think it's 50% return of premium between 46 and 50. Don't quote me on that, but the software will tell you. Okay, it's on the Le Capital software. This is, by the way, the old Pillar, it's a Pillar Series product with Le Capital. It's the former Pencorp product. So it's a very well-known, trusted name in the industry. They've been around for God knows how long, okay? And great compensation, again, on the disability insurance, 55 FYC, one of the highest you'll find in the industry. Okay, and it's a great product. Okay, any other questions on LeCap?
Are you gonna let us know what the not so
Oh,
good
here's one. Yeah, I'll tell you they're not so good. They're a mutual company, which means each policyholder will be a owner if they demutualize. Now, with companies like Equitable Life, for example, which we're working on a contract with them, we don't have it yet. Everyone's asking me every day, but we're just at the whim of how long they're going to take to give it. But they keep saying it's coming to deal with all their compliance people. But Equitable Life, if you own a participating whole life policy with them, and if they demutualize, you will be a shareholder. That's how it typically works. Well, in Quebec, they don't have participating whole life policies, and this is a Quebec-based company. So they've deemed that any policy, even a term insurance policy or a disability policy, if you own one of those products and they demutualize, you will be a shareholder in the company. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever been a Manulife client in the past. Was anyone a Manulife client in 2002 when they demutualized? Did you get a nice check in the mail? Right? How big was it? If you don't mind me asking.
$4 a share or something.
Right. So do you remember how much you got?
No,
Was it like 10 grand or like?
it was a big number.
It was a big number because a lot of I know I ran across a client one time. It was around 2004-ish, and they had a Manulife policy previously, and I was in trying to show them if I could do something better, blah blah blah. They would not look at anything other than their Manulife because they got this big bloody check when they demutualized. It was like 10 grand if I remember correctly, right? A lot of money. So imagine your clients how excited they're going to be that you walked into their life if one day they get a big fat check. Now we can't say and speculate for sure that they're ever going to demutualize. Here's my theory on it. The reason a company would have to go public, the reason they would do that is because we force them into it. See, Experior right now is one of the best companies under the Le Capital banner. Out of the 80-something MGAs they have, we're like number 1 or 2, depending on the category. And our volume just continues to climb. We could literally force them into demutualizing. You know how you do that? You give them too much business and they can't afford to pay you. They have to demutualize. How do you do that? Well, because think about this. If I collect a check from you as a client, you give me a check for $80 a monthly premium, I'm paying out to the MGA somewhere around $1,500, $1,600, right? Like that's what they pay us as an MGA. So they're literally paying us 150 to 160% of the premium. It's going to take them 18 months to make that money back. And forget, we're not even counting the fact that that's just commissions. What about the medicals they have to order? Blood and urine, how about the staff they're paying, all that stuff. So the more business we give to them, the more chance of it demutualizing, which is kind of cool, right? Because I'd love to see my client. Most of my clients as a broker are under Le Capital, because as I was selling, like that's where I mostly put all of my clients, most of them. So now where they're not so strong is on their whole life product, right? I seen a whole life product just come through on one of our new business trends, and it was like $3,500 in premium. Right? I was like, wow, that's a big premium on a whole life. But part of me was going, I wonder if they shopped it around, because typically, now maybe I was wrong, maybe in that case it made sense, but typically their whole life is not that competitive. What is competitive is the 20-year term is very, like I sell almost every 20-year term with Le Capital, and the T100 is fabulous. Okay, those are the sweet spots, and their disability and their critical illness if the client wants a return of premium. If they don't care so much about the return of premium, there's other options out there, but I personally think that's a cool one. Okay, make sense? So that's my bias and that's just my opinion. Faith Life. Faith Life is the best participating whole life product on the market. It even beats Equitable. But don't worry, for those that want Equitable, we're still working on that. But it even beats Equitable. Okay, on the dividend scale with cash values and with paid up additions and they only have paid up additions as an option. So that's one other thing. If someone wants enhanced or they want, cash and different options, they don't have it. This is just paid up additions. My opinion, if you're buying a participating policy, paid up additions is the only way to go. I think it's the best way to go. Okay. The competitors that are out there based on the current dividend scale, but they're about to drop it as well. So not only are we already in line with what's going to happen for the next few years, the other competitors are not as good, and they're about to be not even close to as good once they change that on the dividend scale. It's also got the best 20 paid cash value and face amount. It surpasses competitors based on current dividend scale. I already think I said that. It's a non-for-profit company that gives back to the communities. Now, Faith Life, its core, they are a Christian-based company. So on page 1 of the application, it asks, what church are you a part of? And if you're a part of a church, you get to become a full member. If you're not a part of a church, you become an associate member. If I'm sitting down with someone, I happen to know they're an atheist or they're not a Christian or whatever, I'm probably not going to ask that question. I'm just going to check off associate member. Now, what's the difference between a full member and an associate member? A full member has voting rights. Who here cares about voting for an insurance company's board of directors? You do? Okay. Well, hopefully you're a Christian and you can be a full member. Because if you're not, you don't get a vote. Hey, guess what? Leanne and I are clients of Faith Life. We don't vote. And we're Christians. We're full members. But we don't vote. We won't have to vote. Who cares? But hey, maybe if you're passionate about that, then maybe you can convert and you can get the member and you can vote, I guess. My point is this: don't push away a client just because it's a Christian-based product. It's a great product. The fact that they're non-for-profit is just a bonus, right? They're giving back to communities, not just church communities, in case you wondered, because I had one client that was, had a bad experience in his past life, whatever, this and that. And that was one of his, I'll give back to Christians. Like, wow, it's actually just giving back to the communities in general. It's just a good company. How many of you guys are familiar with the Foresters benefits? Mm-hmm. The Foresters has, right? If you buy a CPP policy, I'm going to talk about that tonight, you actually get the Foresters benefits included. This is the same thing. It's very similar product to that as far as non-for-profit giving back. Okay, Enforce is a great product. We don't have them on our shelf as of today. Rumor has it in the next couple of weeks we will, so stay tuned. But as of today, we don't. Okay. Then there's the Oprah benefit or the orphan benefit. That's an Oprah. Everyone gets $500. You get $500. You get $500. You get
Everyone gets $500.
Yeah. $500 a month per child, over and above the death benefit if both parents were to die. Okay. So that gets left to the new custodial. Yeah. Okay.
Is there any age limit to the child?
Yes, I don't know what it is though offhand. Yeah, see, I'm giving you guys kind of a generic overview. Hopefully, get you a little excited. Hey, man, we got some good things here, but you got to do some homework. There's a leader in our company, Frank DeLeo. Many of you guys know Frank. Frank has often said that you'll know what you need to know when you need to know it. You sit down with a client, you do an analysis, all of a sudden you determine they've got a need for a whole life and they want to put a nice product on the children. I'm going to show you guys a 20-pay product on kids. It's phenomenal here. And you might be like, well, geez, I don't know. Do they have terminal illness benefit? Jamie didn't talk about it. That's when you look into it, right? You start doing your own homework, right? You look on their website. You'll know what you need to know when you need to know it, okay? I'm not saying to go out there blind. You do have to have a general idea of what you're doing, right? But it's usually behind the scenes. You sit with the client. You're not analyzing their whole portfolio of investments on the spot, are you? Mm-hmm. No, then it's the same with their life insurance. You're going to analyze their whole insurance needs on the spot. No, bring that stuff back to the office. That's why we do the two-step sales approach. We're not there to shove a product down the throat. We're there to offer them advice and proper service and do the analysis for them, right? One other thing I didn't mention on Faith Life, where I see this as a very strong sale for us. Obviously, clients that have high net worth, or high cash flow, it's a great product. It's very expensive, right? Some of y'all know Participate Whole Life, probably the most expensive product on the market. 20 pay, even more expensive, right? So it's not a cheap product. But where it is a great product is for children. I'm going to show you. I'm going to switch gears here for a second because I always like to show this part of my presentation. Oh dear. Where are we? So watch this. This is cool. So this is just a quick presentation. Watch this. You get a newborn baby. You can get them $100,000 in coverage for $100 a month. Oh, what a deal. It's not really, that's expensive. Okay? But if the client can afford it, let's see the benefits. It's guaranteed paid up in 20 years. At age 20, and I put education, buy a home, retirement, leave a legacy. Do not be mistaken. You don't get this and then carry along and get this and then continue on and get this. Unlike another company that I won't mention their name promotes as if you get all that. Okay, it's not even this company they use another carrier, but they're promoting it as if, oh, you're gonna get all this. Oh, and look, you got this much life insurance. Nah, dummy, you get one or the other, right? This is part and parcel of that. So here's an example. Leanne and I buy life insurance on our daughter Takia when she was 0 years old. Let's just say, okay, Takia's healthy. She's only 6, God willing. She's gonna make it to 20 and she's gonna be healthy. Okay, the little Takia, she wants a Corvette and she's my girl. We have an education fund outside of that. I'm going to buy her a Corvette, okay? Or whatever. I'm going to buy her a Corvette. I'm going to cash that sucker in. You know why? Because she's healthy. I can just buy her another $1 million of coverage for like $14 a month. I mean, or, you know, it's going to be dirt cheap now, right? She's 20. I can buy her another term policy for $250,000, right? Or $1 million, whatever. She's insurable. That's my point. She wouldn't have to keep the policy forever. Now, depending, because Leanne's more responsible, she'll be like, we're not. No, you'd be crazy. We're going to keep that in there. Right? The Bible says leave a legacy for the children's children. The policy isn't about Takia. The policy is about our grandbabies that aren't even born yet. I'm like, I can't think that far ahead. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, fire Corvette. She's my sweet little pink Corvette. So anyway, but here's the other thing. Then we have another child. His name's Addison. Let's say we bought that policy when Addison was 0. Well, age 10, this is a true story, diagnosed with complete kidney failure, had a transplant last year, will never be eligible for any more life insurance than $75,000. $50,000 with specialty life once he's 18, and $25,000 with CPP once he's 18. That's all we're going to be able to get him. And then it's deferred, so technically he's not even insured until he's 20 because it's a 2-year deferred product. That's Addison's story. What would I do if Addison turned 20 when we had this product? Well, you can bet we're going to keep that forever, and we'll never tell them that money ever existed. We be the owners of the policy, so it's not like you go do something stupid at college or whatever and blow the money on whatever, right? So my point is, when you do this, you can actually protect the future insurability of the child. And look at that, by the time he's got a family in there, and by the time he's 65, I mean, he's still being able to leave some proper protection for his loved ones once he grows up, gets married, and stuff. And God willing, he's going to live a long, long life, but we don't know, right? He's not insurable. So that would have been a great option. Unfortunately, I worked at the practice company at the time, so that wasn't actually an option for Addison. So let's go up a notch. Maybe you got a client that's got a lot of money. How many know that there's clients out there that spend thousands of dollars every month on life insurance, and it becomes a planning tool for their future financial success, leaving it for children. People use it for tax advantages, different products are formed for that. But what about this? What if you could sell someone, they got lots of extra cash flow and they want to do something good for their kids? You go about $233 a month, you could buy $250,000 of life insurance. Look at what it's going to happen at age 20, 78 grand, with 750 grand. You've guaranteed the future insurability of that child, right? People that have a lot of money want to have good places to put it, right? Someone that does a proper budget doesn't hope that their bank account keeps growing every month. I don't know if you know that, eh? You don't know that? Like if you're comfortable hovering around 10 grand in your bank account, that's where you're comfortable, and you get to 15, you ought to do something with that 5 grand. You have to allocate it, otherwise it gets peed away and it's gone, right?
So Jamie, is that just on, you have to have a separate policy for each child? Or is that
That's separate for each child, yeah. These are standalone. But again, this is higher level, higher net worth clients. This isn't, you're not selling this to the guy that works in the factory and the wife that's a nurse, okay? They have a good disposable income, but probably they have to use a lot of that disposable income for their retirement, paying down their debts, things like that. This, we're talking maybe someone, they're a business owner, they're making 20 grand a month. Well, now throwing an extra, $2,800 a year to the children's future insurability / hey, got something in there, isn't going to kill them financially, right? I love doing the math on this though. That's about $56,000 over the next 20 years that you put into the plan. Look what it turns into. It's unfreaking believable. Like that's good. Okay. It's guaranteed paid up. Okay, so that's that. I wanted to cover that. Any questions there, Bear? Now, so that's Faith Life, okay? And ever since we started talking about this, all of a sudden more and more child sales are going through because people are starting to be aware. Yep.
Just to confirm, the owner is getting both the investment and the insurance?
No, the investment portion, so the guaranteed cash value, right, is part and parcel of the death benefit, but they do get the dividends and the paid up additions on it, right? So it is an increasing death benefit, okay?
Question.
Jenny, that on that side, here you have insurance, is that death benefits guaranteed? Because if they buy 250,000.
No, the only guaranteed values are listed in the policy, and it's $250,000 of life insurance, and then there's guaranteed values, okay? Now, this is based on the dividend scale. Dividends can always change,
Exactly.
right? But they're pretty confident in sharing this, that this is what we feel like it's going to get. You talk to someone that bought a London life policy 25, 30, 40, 50 years ago, their dividends did what they said they were going to do. Right?
But my question, sometimes I get confused with that because if they when you look at when you do a quote for the policy, you see the guarantee, you see the paid up. Now the guarantee is 250. The example you gave, let's say that the non-guarantee section says about 1 million something. If that client dies, are they going to get the 1 million something, or are they going to, the beneficiaries get?
As long as the dividend scale is still the same as what it is right now, they're going to get the higher amount. It's whatever the value is at the time. They're going to get a statement every year showing what the value of their life insurance is, how much it's gone up to, and they're also going to get the value of their cash surrender value if they need to hold. You can take out the money, it goes against the policy as a loan. You can still use the money, but it's a loan against the policy, right?
That's a non-guarantee.
Then it depends because it varies from company to company, but typically it's 6 to 8% is a pretty normal amount. I don't think the purpose of buying these policies is to take a loan, right? To me, the purpose is it's a way to have a future nest egg for your grandchildren, even, right? But in this case, it's because people want to put their money somewhere. They don't want that extra $5,000 in their bank account, and they've got the money to spend. This is not a product when you're pinching pennies. You're not buying this product. If you still have debt, you're probably not buying this product. No, but some people are. Some people want to buy it because, I want to save for my kids' education. Well, in my opinion, that's not the best way to save for kids' education, right? There's much better ways to do it, like putting it into an RESP, right? Humania has a child critical illness policy, which I think is fabulous, very affordable. You can actually sell any child under the age of 18, 10,000 of critical illness, or 10,000 of life insurance for $11 a month.
What?
Yeah. Guaranteed premiums until they're 75 years old. I think that's something. So now, I now have mom and dad. They're living paycheck to paycheck, okay? They don't have a boatload of cash, right? Am I going to sell them a $100 or even a $40 a month faith-like policy, or am I going to maybe look to this as an option? For $11 a month, you can get 10,000 of critical or life. What does that mean? If they get sick with one of the 37 illnesses, the most covered by any child plan in the industry, okay, to my knowledge, 37 illnesses, they're going to get 10 grand, or you're going to get 10 grand as the parent. You can't. So that's one option. You get 10,000 life insurance. So if they die, they get the 10 grand. But if they have a critical illness, they get the 10 grand, and then the policy's done. Okay, one or the other. But then for another $2, so for $13 a month, you can actually get another 10,000 of coverage. So if they die, you get 20 grand. If they get sick, you get 10 grand. And if they get sick and then die, you still get 20 grand, right? But it's the one is one or the other, 10 grand, one or the other. And the other one is just 10 grand of life insurance for $13 a month. And then if you're really bored, you can buy all that and double your price and pay $26 a month. I know all the quotes because it's the same no matter how old the child is. For $26 a month, if you buy the plan, after the 15th year, we're going to give you 75% of your money back, and the policy keeps going. And then after another 15 years, we're going to give you another 75% of your money back, and the policy keeps going. And then, by the time your child is 75 years of age, if they keep the policy till they're 75, we're going to give them all the money back that they paid from year 31 to year that they turn 75. Isn't that cool? That's a cheap policy, eh? $26 a month with return of premiums incrementally in there. Now, if they can't afford the 26, don't do the return of premium. Just do the $13 and get them that. That's awesome. It's cheap, right? We had tons of these when we started doing this. Look at someone's getting bored and doodling on the screen. That you, Barry? To match your shirt. Oh, good. The doodler erased it. Thanks, doodler.
And have to love.
Rates are extremely competitive, as we talked about. Oh, now here's the other thing with Humanity. So that product is called Children 360. Okay. The next product is called Hugo. So the next, oh yeah. So if you guys ever want to sell this product, I suggest you download their application from our website, print it off, fill it out, takes you 5 minutes, and then scan and email it to Amy. Okay. You cannot sell this product without a code first. Okay.
So wait a second, so you need all of our contracts to be original, right?
No.
It's on the back office though, isn't
I thought you needed all of
No, scan and email. Most of the contracts are scan and email. Actually, even Le Capital now is scan and email. So
I'll have to be-
Do they still need the,
Yeah.
the originals at head office?
That's what we were told to do.
by who?
Have them here for you. Yeah.
Okay. By who?
Um,
Well, it depends on which contract it is.
There is some contracts that we need originals, but oh, Financial Horizons, yeah, they're oh, you're selling that stuff? Oh, that's the problem. Yeah, we actually don't sell Financial Horizons here, but
That's a real good vote of confidence. Yeah.
no, we just don't. No, I'm just being honest with you. Financial Horizons, I've sold no policies through them, right? But we have them. The reason why, and now maybe you have books of business elsewhere. So if someone has a book of business with a Canada Life or Sun Life or a company that isn't on our platform, that's why we have the Financial Horizons, so that you can deal with swaps, still get all your trails from renewals. So yeah, in that case, Financial Horizons, because they're a different story altogether, they do require originals and everything. Okay, so that's true. So shoot, yeah, that's good. So you didn't waste your time bringing it in. But all the stuff that we deal with, you don't need originals. Right? So the Hugo product. So listen to this. The Hugo product, if you're between the ages of 18 and 55, you can get up to $1 million in coverage, instantly issued, one of the cheapest products on the market. Oh, it's unbelievable. 66%, that number's wrong. It's 2/3 of all applications are issued in less than 45 minutes, most of them in 10 minutes while you're still sitting there with the client. So I'll give you an example of this product, how much I love it. I'm sitting there on a Sunday night, I'm bored. Leanne's doing her thing. I'm sitting on the couch doing my thing, which is nothing. And I'm bored. And we just got the contract approved on Friday. So I'm like, sweet, now I have access. So now I have time on a Sunday night. I'm in there. I go, I need some more coverage, right? I want to be worth more dead than alive. So I buy another $1 million on myself. I go online to do it on myself, okay? I buy the policy. It literally took me 10 minutes to go through yes, no, all that stuff, put in my name. I put in my credit card. I can pay by credit card month to month. You don't even have to pay, so I get the points, right? So you can pay, yeah, you can. So you can pay by credit card or you can pay by banking draft and you put in your bank information. So here's what happens. I click submit for the policy. It hits my MIB instantly, which is clean. Then it comes and I get an email saying, is this you? Because I'm now a client. I go, yep, that's me. Click. That was my signature, was the email that got sent to me. I had to click it to accept. That's it. So no paper, no nothing, everything's electronic. Then I get another email 5 minutes later, 7 minutes later. Congratulations, your policy's been approved for $1 million in coverage, 15-year term premium is $58.95. Here's the really cool thing. I then went on term for sale because I thought, let me check it out. I want to see if I got myself a deal. I didn't care. I always buy a product from every one of our preferred carriers, okay? So I went on term for sale. I checked out 15-year term, 37-year-old male non-smoker, $58.95, cheapest product on the market. Score. I was excited about that. Then the other cool part was I'm turning 38 by insurance age in 3 days, but because the policy was instantly issued on the spot, I was still 37, even though my birthday was almost going to be 6 months. Had I put it through normal underwriting, my premium would be $62 instead of 58. Now, here's the other cool part about this product. The only 10-year term in the industry and the only 15-year term in the industry that pay a 50 FYC at Experior only, because no other company built the FYC into the product. It just has broker MGA commissions, and they're just flat. We actually have it built in with the FYC being 50, highest in the entire industry on a 10 or a 15-year term. Okay, so that's cool. Now, why would you buy this product? Or why would you sell this product? A couple of reasons. It's quick and easy. The nurse doesn't have to chase down your client because you had to chase. Put it this way, if I have a client that I have to chase 3 different times to try and book an appointment with them, don't put them through underwriting if you can get them through here. Now, 1/3 of the time it goes through underwriting and they order the medicals and all that stuff, but 2/3 of the time the sucker's issued up to a night. Fully underwritten. This is not like CPP. CPP is simplified issue. That's different. That's quick too, but that's for people that might have health issues. This is for your healthy person, okay? So, the sweet spots for Humania. Clients that don't have enough money to buy a Faith Life policy on a child, you're going to go with Humania probably on a child, or you're just going to put them as a child rider on another policy, but some people like the standalone coverage for the children. You're also going to sell this product likely to every time you have to sell a 10 or a 15-year term because the rates are fabulous and it pays fabulous. My suggestion is, and it avoids the medical underwriting 2/3 of the time. To me, 10, 15-year term goes through there all the time. Also, you might get into a 30-year term with them because the Capital's prices aren't as good sometimes. Even though this is going to pay you slightly lower, it's 50 FYC regardless of the product. The only product that is forbidden with these guys, it's not actually forbidden, but I wish they just remove it off the shelf. It's their T100. Because with the same compensation, when we extrapolated the comp to figure out the FYC, worked out to 20%. Yeah, right? So basically don't sell T100 with them. It doesn't make sense, okay? Now, one more benefit. It says right there, the policy is renewable, convertible, so you can convert it to a T100. Again, the commissions are lower, but most people aren't converting, but if they do convert. Exchangeable means this. At any time in the first 5 years, you can exchange it for any other product without proof of insurability, up to the face amount that you have. So I have $1 million, a 15-year term. If I wanted to, within the next few years, because it'll be 4.5 years from now, within the next 4.5 years or so, I could exchange it for a 30-year term, or a term 100, or a 20-year term, right? So sometimes clients buy 10-year term for one reason. They can't afford 20.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Now you can sell them a 10-year term without proof of insurability when things get better financially. Revisit them, say, listen, guys, you only got 6 years left on your term. I say we convert it right now to a 20. It's going to cost you more, but we're going to lock it in. That's one of the benefits of that without proof of insurability. That's right. You can go from a term to term or from a term to a well, it's convertible, which means you can actually convert to a T100. Exchange means you can exchange the term on it, right, which is fabulous. And there's 2 renewal options at time of purchase, right? This is a way to upsell your clients, but also provide extra value. When you check out the rates, right, you can quote them right away. It's going to ask for gold or platinum renewal, okay? A gold renewal is your standard renewal. Prices go up 3-4 times, right, at renewal. Shows the client right there. Here's your premium now. Here's your renewal price. Platinum, the price is a little bit higher right now, maybe 10% more or so, but your renewal is significantly lower. So now you can go, well, listen, hey, if you want, you could pay an extra $5 a month if you want, and it's going to be a much lower renewal in case you still need the coverage after 20 years. A lot of clients go, yeah, sure. Well, that's $5 more premium that you're going to get paid 5% more, 10% more on, but it's also good for the client if they should have to keep the policy after the term period ends. Okay?
Do you have to do that at issue?
Yeah.
You have to,
Yep. And their 10-year term, as I said, pays the highest. Next company, SSQ. SSQ, man, they're awesome. Actually, all the companies I'm showing you are awesome because that's what I'm showing you. I can tell you all the bad companies too if you want. No, there's no bad companies. There's just companies that we don't care about. Why don't you care about them? Because they don't care about us. Right? If your mama didn't love you, it's hard to love someone back that don't love you. All right. In SSQ, their Universal Life is the most competitive wired. It's the most competitive Universal Life I've seen on the market. They have a YRT to 90 in order for the policy not to explode in years 90 plus. Because YRT means the cost of insurance goes up every year, but it means you can also overfund in the earlier years. So then that money gets to work harder for you than if you just go with the term, there's less to invest the difference. Universal Life, just so you know, is buy term, invest the difference on steroids when done properly, okay? When done wrong, it's the worst product on the market. That's why I avoid it at all costs, because I'm not the agent that's going to be in my clients' lives in 10 years from now, because I will not, I'm already not in my clients' lives. If they call me, I'll call them back or I'll refer them to Tim like I did today. Had a client bugs me, I don't like him, calls me today, I call Tim, hey, or call me last night. I'm like, hey Tim, or I called Tim. I said, Tim, I got this client for you, buddy. I said, it's got like 20 G's. I think he has an investment with you. Will you take that client for me? Yeah, sure. I'm like, sweet. So Tim's taking the client, right? After hours, he's on staff. So I'm not going to be that client that's going to be I'm not going to be the advisor that's in my client's life in 10 years from now. And I know that about myself. I'm building an empire, right? I plan to build the largest company across the globe in financial services and the insurance industry. So how am I going to justify selling a universal life product when I'm not going to be there for my client in 10 years from now? That's wrong. Therefore, I've sold not a single universal life product in my life, okay? But I do see the value in it. I'm not brainwashed anymore. I know I worked at a company that said anything other than term is evil. That's okay. I got over that. I understand there are great products, but make sure that when you market this product, if you're going to market this product, you are overfunding the crap out of it, because if the markets take a tank, and they will one day, you got to make sure that there's enough cash value in that that's going to help the thing continue to run. I'm not here to train on universal life tonight. I'm happy to do that at one point in the boot camp. I am going to be training on whole life, term, UL, where it makes sense for clients. What I'm doing now is more generic stuff that where these products make sense. But first and foremost, universal life with SSQ might be the best product in that category, but it's probably the worst product for a lot of your clients. Not necessarily, but it could be, okay? All right, make sense? Now, why I think it's so competitive, and this is one reason, it's priced as though a YRT to 100, but it levels at 90. See, in order for a product to level at 90, so it doesn't explode and continue getting more expensive, it had to be a higher cost of insurance. But SSQ said, no, we'll price it like a YRT to 100, but we'll give the benefit of a YRT to 90, okay? So that's why it's priced lower, which means you can overfund it that much more when you sell it initially, because the cost of insurance is lower, okay? All their products include extreme disability benefit, which pays 50% of the face amount up to $250,000. That's just exactly the same definition we talked about with Le Capital. Remember I said one more company has it? That one more company is SSQ, okay? Now, you know how he said it says every product, right? Well, not yet. The only product that it doesn't have the extreme disability benefit built in is a product called YRT 90, right? Level. Because YRT, you can actually get an increasing death benefit or a level death benefit. For some reason, their level death benefit program, which a lot of the folks that we just hired out in Calgary, recruit out there, that they really love this product, right? They said it's better than anything they've ever sold, and they're really familiar with the Universal Life. Well, guess what? They called up Doug Paul after they put in a boatload of business. These guys have done like 50 SSQ applications, in the last like 20 days. This group out there, yeah, they're insane. And Doug Paul even flew out to see them, and SSQ was at their grand opening. Like SSQ is huge there. And just for experience, the lady comes up. She's been in the business for 30 years. I don't know if you guys seen some of the pictures on Facebook. This lady from SSQ was there. She goes, Jamie, after we did some speeches and stuff, and the grand opening, cut the ribbon, all that stuff. She goes, I've been in this industry for 30 years, and I have never seen anything like this before. Just the environment and how excited everyone. It was so cool. And then she comes up to me and she's talking. And she goes, Jamie, I am so excited about your team up here. They're doing amazing. I said, are we like beating everyone out? She goes, oh my gosh, yes. I'm like, we just started a month ago. We're already beating everyone in freaking Calgary, including the big guys. I mean, with SSQ, which is awesome. Well, guess what? We got so important to them so fast. I love companies that are open to change. She was upset. The one girl, she goes, Jamie, why don't they have extreme disability benefit on this particular product, but they have it on everything else? I'm like, I don't know, call Doug. I'm like, right? Doug's our VP there. She calls Doug, guess what? They're changing the bloody product for us because we fought for it. They're actually going to put it on every single product. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I know. We're excited about that. So again, I love this company already. We've only been in MGA with them for less than a year. They already love us, and they're making changes to their product. Like that costs money, right? Like actuary stuff, they got to figure all that dirt out, and then they got to change the name of the policies. They got to change it on the illustration. I think it costs a lot to make these little minor tweaks, but they're doing it for us, right? After less than a year of doing business with them, so that's pretty cool. And we plan to this year be the biggest MGA with SSQ, and the biggest MGA with Le Capital, and the biggest MGA with Humanity. Those three, it will likely happen this year. CPB, give us 1 or 2 more years because WFG is a little bit ahead of us with 10,000 agents, but that's okay.
That means that we have to take their agents.
Well, this is recorded, so no, we can't necessarily do it that way. Well, none of us have any covenants in here, right? But the only thing is, here's a disclaimer. If you're coming from WFG, you're not allowed to solicit any WFG agent for a period of 2 years.
There you go.
That ain't stopping me.
I didn't come from there.
So they also have joint first to die and joint last to die with an increase in level death benefit. The UL has a strong selection of investments. I looked at them. I was very impressed. And they also have a 1% bonus that starts after year 5. So where do we sell SSQ? Primarily, it's going to be in the universal life market. But that said, they have 3 types of term products, all priced the same, but with all unique advantages. Have a wholesaler come visit your local office for more information. And get into it. Okay. Hey, are you guys having fun out there in this land? Who's on here? We got the dream team on here. We got Dwight on there. We got a bunch of iPad, iPhone. Hi, iPhone. Hi, iPhone. Joanne. Kavanaugh's on there, representing Belleville. Kathleen
Jamie.
representing
You're doing a good
Simcoe
job
and
so far.
opposites. Oh, thank you. Who's that?
Thais.
Neef is here. Hey, Steve Russell. Tony Packman. Tremaine, hey, buddy. Good job on the investments today. I saw that coming through. Awesome. Okay, cool. I just want to check out who was there. Dwight, Chris, Christina, Barry. If I didn't see your name, don't get mad. Hey, Baljeet representing from the new office out in Calgary. You can't get enough of me, eh, Baljeet? So nice. Him and his buddies took me out for a nice lunch. Okay. Anyway, guys, if you guys have questions, I want you to feel like you're a part of the meeting. So just message Barry or you can unmute yourself temporarily and ask a question. Okay. Okay. What time is it? Okay, good. We're going good for time. Okay. 1 second. The child coverage. Oh, this is cool. Child coverage. And Baljeet, can you help me out here, buddy? Because you were at the meeting in Calgary. The child critical illness coverage is free when you put a child rider on the policy. Is it? No, when you sell a child policy, like a term or whatever, it includes critical illness for free and guaranteed insurability benefit. And Baljeet, back me up here, it was 50,000 of critical illness and 50,000 of guaranteed insurability at no cost. Maybe it was Baljeet's the one that falls asleep. No, it wasn't. I think it is 50,000, but don't quote me. It might be 25,000 critical and 50,000 of
That is if you do a child life insurance.
child life insurance. It automatically includes for free. So some people use the universal life on children because the cost of insurance is so dirt cheap in the early years. You can actually overfund it and accomplish great things similar to the 20 pay. And sometimes it's more affordable and it's flexible. You go up and down your payments and stuff. So that's a good thing. But anyway. Next one, CPP. CPP is awesome. One of my faves. So why do you want to sell CPP? Well, according to all the insurance nut bars out there, because they have a contest, and that's why they're getting rid of contests. So stupid. Can you believe that?
That's the one that I just saw. I was like, I have 6 kids. Can I take them all?
Well, how many? No, they said 2, but you have to pay for the rest.
I don't do that.
But you know what? Any amount of production, they'll probably negotiate with you.
You want to take 2 of my kids and my
So
And my
CPP,
grandbaby? And my grandbaby?
so CPP has amazing trips. Leanne and I just got back from the trip. Leanne, it was amazing, right?
It was one of the best returns.
Yeah, I mean, they let you do all the free things you want to do. There's only 2 sessions that were like 3 hours each. So, but it's nice to mingle with colleagues, recruit some people while you're there. And then we got to be like free and, enjoy ourselves. It was unbelievable. We stayed at the Hard Rock Cafe Casino or Hard Rock Casino and something. It was awesome. Yeah, it was amazing. It was unbelievable. They give you like all this money, resort credit and stuff. It was really cool. They did a good job. They pay for like the parking. If you have to take a bus or a car to the airport, they reimburse you for all that. Like they really take care of you. You have to do 80,000 of premium this year to qualify with just you, or 95,000 for you, a spouse, and 2 kids. Okay, I suggest you do 95,000 if you want to stay married. All right. Or if you're single, then just squeak by. But if you want to be married, maybe do the 95,000 and you invite a future spouse. You can do that too. Personal. It's a lot of production, right? But if you start marketing yourself, the CPP is a good product because it's for hard to insure. Okay, so where is CPP a good fit? When it's hard to insure. Every product is good for them as long as the person's hard to insure. don't sell this to healthy people. It doesn't make sense. That's my opinion. Some people do. I don't think it makes sense. Some people go, well, I like the fact that they don't do medicals, so I'll sell it to healthy people. I still, well, they're just sell Humania. There's Humania. You can sell to healthy people and not do medicals, right? Or Assumption. Assumption's another good one. But CPP is a better option than Assumption in most cases. But what if you have, here, let me go through this and I'll tell you your best option, up to $500,000 in coverage. Here's my deal. Don't sell the preferred. Don't sell the preferred CPP product because that's dumb, okay? When you sell the preferred CPP product, now they have the right to do medicals, or they even can decline what your clients already said no to all the answers, and now they can still turn around and decline it, and then you don't even get any coverage. Never sell preferred. The only reason you would sell preferred is because you're dumb. See, if you're not, no, it's true. It's true. Oh. What I meant to say, sensitive folks, is because you're not knowledgeable about the product. That's what I meant to say.
And I'm politically correct.
I'm actually, but I'm being serious. That is why. Some people don't know. They go, oh, look, you got all the way. I'm going to go preferred. Oh, I just saved him another $5 a month. Yeah, now he's declined, bonehead, because they get to look into the records and whatever. Like, see, this is what CPP told me on the trip, right? This is what they told me. They said, when you go to preferred, you now open them up for scrutiny. And if you don't answer yes to any of the questions, you qualify. Even if they miss something, as long as you answer honestly and ethically about the questions. Even if CPP forgot to ask about some disease that's so rare it's not listed there, you're in, okay? So don't open your client up to scrutiny by going to preferred. The other thing is if you're going to go to preferred, you should just go to a standard underwritten product because it's going to be cheaper anyways and pay you better. So it doesn't make sense. So my point is don't go to preferred any underwriting, okay? You stop at 500,000 and you'd be happy with that. If you want to go to $1 million, go to Humania, okay? I'm trying to save you money and headaches in the future, okay? Because when you get declines on your client's record, it's bad for them too. And it's bad for your paycheck, okay? I didn't mean you're dumb. I'm just having fun. Relax. Willie's still upset over there too. Oh, this is a good one. I don't like this feature, but some people do. No payment for the client until the second month. Well, that's good. I mean, that's great if your client doesn't have any money. It means you get to defer your charge back for a month, I guess. but come on. I don't know, man. I don't like this because I think the client, they got the coverage this month. They should pay this month. That's my opinion. And the reason I'm so passionate about why I don't like this is because they then cut your income by 1/12. That bothers me. So they go, oh yeah, we're 45 FYC on a term. No, you're not. You're like 38 or 39 because you cut off one of our months of commissions. But that's what they, anyway.
Sometimes like, whoa,
I know,
1 month.
but that's great. But I think we provide enough. But I personally think we provide enough value. You don't have to nickel and dime and save a month. This isn't. We're not selling furniture. Hey, today only. We're going to scratch off the first thing. Get out of here. You bought the insurance. You die there. But anyway, this is. They think it's. Now listen. I know some people think this is a benefit. I don't. I don't want 1/12 of my commissions cut. But that's what they do. We don't have a choice. Once we get big enough, I'm going to argue about it and say no. Our clients pay first month because we provide good value. And I want to get paid for providing good. You're a jerk, Jamie. No, I just business. Okay. So some of you think that's a good benefit. I don't. The other thing is, if your client's going, oh, good, because I couldn't have made the first month payment anyway, I'm going, oh, maybe I shouldn't sell this policy. I'm going to get a charge back. You just delayed the process now, right? Yeah. Guys, we got to sell products clients can afford.
Or they'll change their mind. Yeah.
That can happen too, right? But either way, a lot of people like this, but that's cool, whatever, okay? Orphan benefit, theirs is even higher than the Faith Life, so that's cool. Husband and wife both die. The children, each child, the primary caregiver, if you die, not necessarily the beneficiary, okay? Beneficiary could be the kids, the money's in trust. This is $900 a month over and above for the primary caregiver or the custodial parent that takes over the children, should you both pass away, okay? Good question, Bear? There's also an interest-free terminal illness loan up to 75% of the face amount. That's huge. That's good.
So again,
Terminal illness benefit up to 75% of the face amount.
but that's a loan, right?
Yeah, but no interest on the loan. That's good. Orphan scholarship provides the orphan children with up to $6,000 a year for 4 years. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah. If you're diagnosed like you're going to die, you're terminally ill, they're going to give you 75% of your face amount, with no interest or anything like that, they're going to give you up to 75% of your face amount. So again, it's just like the terminal illness benefit with La Capitale we talked about.
I mean,
Say
what
no.
is the meaning of the loan?
Well,
Because he's going to die, so how is
So
going to pay?
you
get it before
your
it
benefits
comes
will
off the-
decrease.
Yeah, it means it decreases your benefit. Yeah, good question. Yeah.
Loan you don't have to pay off.
IA and IA Excellence, okay? These companies are okay. Not bad. IA has a cool little Prickett term. It's cute, right? You can sell someone a 13-year term if they're superstitious, and I think that's cool, right? You can sell them a 27-year term because that's their favorite number, right? So you can actually pick a term. The only thing I think that's useful for is if you're comparing with another term. So let's say, for example, they bought a 30-year term and they have 16 years left on that term. We can now show them an apples for apples comparison. Well, hey, listen, I might be able to save you money on that 16-year term. Boom, and you do that. So that's one cool little feature about IA. Their T100 is very competitively priced. As much as I love the La Capitale product, it has better features than this one. But if it's all about price for the client, then this is likely going to be the one to go with. If it's about the extra little bells and whistles, La Capitale would be the one to go with. My opinion is, and they have a competitive life and health duo product for children. I don't know a lot about it. I just know it's competitive.
Very good.
Yeah. My opinion is, I don't sell term insurance with these guys ever. A lot of people do. Daniel Sun, your trainer there. Daniel Sun sells term insurance to these guys like he's part owner of the company, right? Which is cool, right? But he loves them because the underwriting is quick, all that stuff. My opinion though is if you're going with a 20-year term or greater, Humania and La Capitale are my go-to. And if you're going for a 10 or 15-year term, Humania is my go-to. My go-to on these guys, for me personally, is on the T100. Okay.
I did a policy.
Oh, and sorry, the T100, and I didn't put it here. They also have a very good price critical illness. Okay. So if you're looking for that, price out the critical illness with these guys and compare it with La Cap. That's where I go. Someone goes, hey, who do I do CI with? I'm always like La Cap, SSQ, or IA. One of those three are the ones that I would check. The IA and La Cap, I know for sure have the return of premium as well. They do too. SSQ, I don't know for sure offhand.
I did a policy and they did 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I did T100 with
Yeah.
critical illness.
Yeah.
3 weeks for the whole thing to be done.
With critical illness?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yep.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Money out of the account, everything.
Yeah, good.
The premium was $225 a month.
Good. So again, good benefit. They're in our preferred carrier list. They're not as preferred as some, but that's okay. No, they're really not. I'll tell you because they rob us as an MG. Sorry, I didn't say that. I don't rob us. I'm just like, really, guys? Really? Embarrassing. But we have to have their products, and we have to support the contract. So Daniel Sun is the one guy helping us support the contract. Maybe you'll help too. Cancer Guard is a IA product, and it's a great product because almost anyone can get some type of critical illness with these guys, even if it's just to cover cancer. Here's how it works. Basically, if you don't have cancer or never had cancer, you qualify. Okay. If you have cancer or have had cancer, you don't qualify. Okay. It's pretty simple. And then there's only 4 questions, but then there's a couple more questions where you can actually get the 4 major illnesses covered: cancer, heart attack, stroke, and the other one that I always forget. Something. Anyone else know? No, Jamie, you're the trainer. You should know. Huh?
No, it's the
No.
bypass.
Coronary bypass?
Yeah.
Something? Okay, cool. Yes, Lee?
I just wanted to mention that it's included in every single policy, and you should be getting your clients to sign up if they don't want it. It's a good sales technique,
Yeah.
and it's also important.
Oh, it's this product that's included.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, good point. Leanne said that there's, just for people on the webinar to hear, there's a sheet in every single policy when it's approved that we put in there. The purpose of that is not so we can waste paper. The purpose of that is for you to upsell your client and also not get sued one day. Okay. I didn't know if you know this, but when you hold an insurance license in the industry and you fail to offer a product that you have available on the shelf, and your client happens to get that certain ailment that you didn't offer a product to cover, they will sue and win. Now, you might not be out of the industry at that point, but your E&O might keep you out because it's going to jump up in price. Okay, and you'll be paying the deductible, which I think our deductibles are $1,000 on a policy. So you will be covered, right, if they come after you. But why get into a court battle because your client gets sick and you didn't offer critical illness? It's required as advisors. I don't know if you know that you offer the products that are on the shelf, right? Fiduciary responsibility. That's right. And if they sue, you'll lose, right? Yes. That's right. So that's why to add extra protection, because you can still get sued and be innocent. How many of y'all know that? Like you can get sued for anything these days, right? I probably offended someone. Someone could sue me today, right? Now, if you lose, I'll countersue your ass and drag you through court, even though it won't be worth the time. No, he threatened me. Now I'm suing him for threatening me. Prove it. I'm deleting this thing. No, but anyone can sue. So the client can sue you, but here's the likelihood of them suing you if you actually, in fact, offered it and they're talking to a lawyer, right, about the illness they have and the policy didn't pay, and they go, oh yeah, he told me about that. The likelihood, most people aren't complete jackwagons, you know what I mean? Like most people aren't going to do that, but it could still happen. Here's the better way to do it. You have them sign the form saying, okay, I just need you to sign here saying that you are not interested in this coverage. All of a sudden they go,
And scan it and email it.
covers cancer, huh? That's what it says, cancer guy, right up there in big bold letters, nothing gets by you.
Well, maybe I'll take it.
Here's how much we're looking at. Wow, you see, right? That's how you upsell. And it's doing a good thing for the client, okay?
So Jamie, how does
Like how you sit like a little kid in school.
how does the simplified issue cancer guide compare to the assumption and assumption?
I don't know. No idea. Sorry. Price it out. You know what? You need to know what you need to know when you know it. Whatever that thing was I said earlier. Yeah, it's getting late. I forget what it was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have people selling stuff. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, don't you know? We've had that on our shelf for 4 years. Wow, Fred, that's awesome. Okay. Assumption. It's great for the hard to insure, but not as great as the CPP. So then why would I sell this? Why would I sell a simplified issue product with assumption if I could sell it with CPP? Because I'm dumb. No, I'm just kidding. That's not why. No, the reason you would is for one of two reasons. Number one, the client needs more coverage. You can only do 500,000 simplified issue with CPP. This, you can get another $250,000 on top of that. That's cool, right? So the client that wants more coverage. Number two, if your credit sucks as an agent, right? Because everyone has hard times sometimes. You can't get all the contracts because of credit difficulties as an advisor. A CPP is pretty strict on the contracting, so you might not be able to sell their product based on the contracting guidelines. Assumption allows Experian to say thumbs up, you're in, and then you're in. So now you might only have the choice to sell this product when it comes to the simplified issue for your clients, okay? And then as soon as you fix your credit up, then obviously we would reapply or get you set up with the CPP, okay? But they are actually, in some cases, their prices are competitive with CPP. I just find more often than not, they're not as competitive as CPP. But it's not like night and day difference, but there's a difference typically, okay? They're user-friendly software. I got familiar with them a long time ago. Really like the software. It's easy to use. Non-medical products, as we said, and it's great for agents with credit issues once again, okay? And they have great term products. They're participating whole life product. If you sell it, I will question why, because it's not that good. And participating whole life is pretty expensive to begin with. So if you're going to be selling a participating whole life product, please sell a product that some agent's not going to come in after you and destroy it. Okay? You want to sell a product that's competitive, this one's not. And I've told them that. I'm like, well, you should sell more of a whole life. Like, no, I shouldn't. It's not good for clients, right? It's not that competitive. Okay. Now that said, I own one other participating whole life policies myself. But that's only because I felt obligated to buy something from them. And I'm like, hey, I don't have any participating whole life. They were the first company on our platform that had a participating whole life, so I bought it from them. But it's not the best product. Okay? Yeah. That's a great question. And when you need to know that, you're going to know what you need to know when you know it. So Victor asked about if you can have corporately owned faith life policies. So he's going to find that out tomorrow for his potential client that's corporation that wants that. I actually think you know what? Actually, I do think the answer is yes, now that I think about it. because Mitch, the answer is yes. Sorry, but I do know. We had a guy, Mitch, sold a lot of big high net worth clients, like some were 30,000 premiums with Faith Life. So yeah, the answer is yes, they do. Yeah. Good, right? I figured that out. So I knew that one. I need to. Now, Manulife Affinity, not to be mistaken with Manulife Life and Segs. Manulife Life and Segs, bad. Manulife Affinity, good. King, why are you saying Manulife Life and Segs is bad? Because we don't have a direct contract with them. They don't care about us. That's not good. If your mama didn't love you, don't feel obligated to love her back. My mom loves me, by the way. So. Just not as much as my siblings. But just kidding.
You
Sorry.
need to take a moment outside.
You know, I feel like I need Dr. Phil. Where is he? So I'm trying to keep you guys awake. This is a long meeting. It can get dry, right? The exciting part's at the end, okay? Are you guys awake? Everyone out there? Hey, you guys, you listen? Everyone okay out there? Oh, we haven't lost anyone yet. That's a good sign. The brand name, right? Manulife, right? They got a good name out there in the public. Everyone knows Manulife. Easy to offer health and death for individuals and small groups at very competitive pricing, and they have great compensation and great renewals. Okay, enough said. What about travel lands? I don't know. Figure it out. You need to know what you need to know when you know it. I don't know about that. What about this other one that? What's the one that Rakesh? Rakesh became a. He's like addicted to travel. This guy sells travel insurance. Literally, I'm seeing like 3-4 times a day. I'm like, where do you find all these people going away on vacation? Holy crap. You must hang out at the airport. Hey, what you got?
That's a great idea.
Right? It is actually. Yeah. I want to share a story with you. Actually, that isn't a bad idea. Did you remember travel insurance? You could literally get people to sign up for travel insurance in like 13 minutes or like 2 minutes. It's really quick. Yeah, but Jason Allen, our wholesaler at Capital, there's a product called Safe Driver, and it's a great product. We got one of our advisors in the past made a claim on it, actually paid out because they got in an accident, couldn't move their neck quite so much, so they couldn't do their job, which is financial advisor. We have to drive from home to home. Actually got paid out on the product, Safe Driver product, right? Some of you remember April, right?
I got paid on it.
Yeah.
It was accident.
You got paid out on it too?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 2 of our advisors got paid out.
Accident from my driveway.
So it's a good.
So I got paid
In your
on it.
driveway? You faked it. You faked the claim.
The back of my car because
Irene, that was fraud.
No, because I almost killed a child. Trying to avoid the child crossing the street. I backed into a truck and the back of my bike.
You're the reason disability premiums are so high. It's people like you.
But I didn't get paid when I broke my leg.
No. So anyway, it's a great product. So now I know of 2 claims, and we haven't sold that much of it.
Yeah.
But what it is, Safe Driver is a product where you can get up to $400 a week payable if you get injured in an accident. Okay, so it's kind of a good little thing. But what I was saying about Safe Driver is there was someone at Jason Allen was telling me. Jason Allen's one of our wholesalers with Capital. He said this person went to the airport. I don't know why they chose the airport. They literally sold like 40 policies in one day. Like it was something ridiculous like that. I mean, or one day or over a few days, whatever it was. It was a stupid amount. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, more than we probably sold ever in a year, you know. But anyway, they just went up with a clipboard and walked up to people and go, "Do you consider yourself to be a safe driver?" And they're like, "Yeah, why?" "Well, do you think everyone else out there is a safe driver?" "Oh, gee, no." "Well, did you know that the government only pays this for you only get this much, blah, 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 if you get in an accident? We actually have a program, blah, 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 and whatever their spiel was, and it actually works, right? Jason Allen can teach you that one time. Get him in. Good.
Okay,
Pretty.
you start at one end. We start at the other end.
Yes.
Well,
He's asking, what about the assumptions term?
The term product's good. It's competitive. The term product's good. It's competitively priced. I have nothing against their term product at all. Actually, Omar, Mr. Wisdom in the back, sells quite a bit of the assumption. I see them coming through all the time. Easy to use software, right? Yeah, nothing wrong with their term product at all. The only thing I have against it is it doesn't pay the advisor as much, right? That's it. But if you're used to the software, you like it, it's easy, quick issue. They have a quick issue product, 250,000 or less of term. It's issued super fast. Even the underwritten stuff, right? Omar, it's up to 250, I think, right? So it's got some great benefits. The FYC on the product, whether it's a 10-year term or a 30-year term, is 45 across the board. So on a 10-year term, it's not bad, right? We have slightly better, but it's still pretty good. 45, when you get into 20-year, 30-year term, that's weak, right? Most of those products are 50 to 55 FYC. So that's all. But yeah, no product, nothing wrong with the term. So how are we unique? I'm going to switch gears a little bit. We lost one person. Where'd you go? How are we unique? Well, we took the best from different companies to create the ultimate commission plan. This presentation that I'm going to share with you now, and by the way, this is the next part of the presentation. Do you guys need a 2-minute break before I get into this? Let's take a 2-minute break, okay? If you gotta use the washroom, stretch, whatever, and then we'll sit back down. Hey guys, we're gonna take a 2-minute break. Oh, is it? Great. Thanks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can feel it just in your hands.
So now, because she's gonna be as far as she's going, no issues, right?
No,
But it's just that they cannot issue the policy.
yeah.
You say so.
Oh, someone's cooking in the microwave.
It's always fun when somebody on Zoom forgets to switch on their microphone.
Marijuana use for companies.
Some of them do it as some of them do it in the smokers, and some of them.
No, that she's wrong. CPP accepts it too. Yeah.
With some companies,
CPP assumption. I think most companies they will, and I think some you're a smoker. Some if you smoke less than 4 joints a week, you're a non-smoker still, which I don't see how that's possible, but that's what it is. You have 1 puff of a cigarette, you're a smoker, but whatever. So I think those companies have that.
The providers give the details.
Is that your last name? What is this one?
Good, my grandbaby, she's been in
Oh, you
labor.
should be a fun one.
Each one of your children large
Yeah,
from
she's been in labor.
I've never done this.
Starting,
Oh,
she's 3 centimeters dilated. Yeah.
All right.
Hit the needle.
Warm up.
Yeah, I should in a minute.
Hey, guys.
The girl. Very excited. Very excited. Yeah.
So that's okay.
So it should be the first one last night after Oh, yeah. That's it. You did it right. There you go.
It's my son, so.
Okay, this is for full of 2010.
Yep.
Something's still already in.
I know I cannot freaking wait and just wait to send them.
For insurance.
How many do you want?
Chair.
I don't think we can now. Let me find out from Tim, because now it's attached to a fund serve code and they upload all the files. Life insurance is okay, but not RESPs. But I can verify. Hey, Dale. Hey, James, how you doing?
Just a question about Humania.
Yeah,
The Hugo product,
yeah.
there's software that you download with that, but that's not the Hugo one, right? Like, how do you get access to Hugo?
It's on their back office when you log into the extranet. You gotta log in the password for extranet, and then you log in there. And then there's something called online sales platform. Click on that, and all the links are there for it.
This is on the back office?
No, it's on your own thing when you log into extranet. It's called. But they have to give you a username and password to get access to it.
Extra, okay, that's what you need.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna get started. You guys ready?
We're gonna have all this, we're gonna have this on the sides, on the back.
Yeah, I can do it. All right, so we took the best from different companies to create the ultimate commission plan. And this presentation will lay a foundation of knowledge to help you build your own Xperia business by developing a team of professional advisors. Okay, these guys online are all still talking about marijuana. So hope you got your answers. I don't know. Some companies take it, some don't. You'll need to know what you need to know when you need to know it. Something like that. Okay.
Speak to the company.
Yeah, I mean, talk to the wholesalers or give the company a call. They'll definitely help you with that. But I know Assumption, CPP, I know are two of them, but there's obviously some others. I just don't know them all offhand which ones do. Now, in the brokerage pay, we're talking about MGAs now, right? Most people are aware that independent brokers that represent an MGA are amongst the highest paid in the financial industry. This is one of the major positives in representing a brokerage from a commission standpoint. As for the products, it's also a well-known thing that using a brokerage to purchase your products is the only way that you can be sure you're getting the best value as long as you're dealing with the right agent, okay? So these are some pros and cons of an MGA. Pros: higher compensation than your captive agents, typically. You can broker to multiple carriers. You have independence. And you own your book of business. Would you guys agree that we have those 4 points? Cons: lack of support, no override structure for building a business. You lose your best agents, no name recognition, and no debt solutions. Would you agree that we don't have those ones? Like, we don't have those, right? Now, as far as name recognition, we're not big yet. Like, we're not known in the public eye. But I'll tell you something, in the MGA world, everybody knows us. In the career agency world, everybody really knows us, and they don't like us. The MGAs like us. We're nice to them, right? Because at least the people have freedom and control of their lives. But the ones that try and control the people are the ones that don't like us, right? There's actually meetings going on. I'm not going to mention any company names because someone's probably recording this and they're going to sue me. But I mean, someone watching. He said something bad about them. Yeah. But there are companies right now that are having meetings daily about Xperia. Yeah, 100%. There's 3 companies right now. Every single day, they're talking with their leaders about us. Some of them have our comp plans. I've had some companies come and bring our comp plan to the meeting with them because they didn't understand it, trying to recruit one of our agents until they got explained what it was. Now we're going to try to recruit them. So this is happening all the time. And I find it so complimentary. It's like, man, these guys are so like, they really care about us. They're talking about us every day. You know, it's
That's
fun.
beautiful.
It is a beautiful thing. There's actually one company where they're actually allowed to sell outside of their own product line because they're very limited in the products they offer. This particular company, they're allowed to sell outside of their product line. Yet the leaders are getting scared because everyone's starting to pull away from them so much and come here. We've only hired about 100 of them so far this year from this one particular company, and the leaders are trying to be like, oh no, because now they're seeing. And what I love is because actually you came up to me, we won't say the name, but you came up to me today and you just asked me about, are we able to sell that product? And I go, well, not through Experior, but if you want, I'll introduce you to the people. I'm not afraid. If you think it's a good product for the client, sell it. I personally don't think most people will sell it because it doesn't pay as good a commissions. You don't own your book of business, but they have one product that's actually pretty good. I'm not going to offer it, but I'll send you over there. And while you're over there, you'll probably recruit 5 or 6 of them to come over here too. And it's compliant. It's legal. That's the problem. They don't know how to do it. So they're trying to talk with their management about how maybe they can shut us out, right? Because right now they're allowed to do it, but they might stop being allowed to do it because I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. So so fun. So we got a good name out there. Everyone knows us. Yes, Barry?
What is meant by override structure?
Override structure. So override is the word that I'm going to teach you guys how to use tonight. Okay. So override is, what's a good way? It's a disbursement of corporate profit. So you make a sale, your manager that trained you to make that sale earns an override. Okay. If you build an agency and you promote someone else that opens their own agency, you earn an override. So an override is the whole recruiting model that we have where you can actually build a team of advisors if you choose, right? Can everyone say override with me?
Override.
Not bad, not bad. See, what happens when you start getting override, you say it different, right? Like when someone says, Jamie, say override, I'm like, override, like that, yeah. But it depends on how many advisors you override, depends on how you do it. Some people are like, override. And if you say it like this, and most of you guys are pretty enthusiastic, I'm impressed because you're looking to the future. That's good. But see, a lot of people, when they say override, they go, override. And it's because they've only been overridden. They've never had a chance to override. But now you have a chance to override, so you got to get happy and excited about override, right? Okay, then there's the multi-level, right? The multi-level marketing companies out there, right? There's a couple big ones in the industry, a few wannabes out there as well. And many people know that multi-level marketing is an industry with a very negative stigma attached to it. But on the plus side, if someone gets into this type of system early in the company startup, they can build an incredibly lucrative business from overrides. Now, another issue can lie in the value of services provided or the pricing of the product, right? Depending on what type of entity it is. There's a lot of hands in the pot taken from the overall profitability of the company or shareholders. So here's some of the pros and cons of the multi-level. Can anyone think of, like, do you understand what I mean by a multi-level type company? Everyone knows what I'm talking about, sort of?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to use company names tonight because I'm trying to be more professional in my old age. So I'm trying to, not bash companies. Like,
Really like that.
it's so hard though. You have no idea.
Really
If you saw what I saw this week in Calgary, I don't know how I'm biting my tongue right now because I'm telling you some companies, how they run from the top down are downright corrupt. But I won't tell you about the company. But I was disgusted. I walked out of those meetings like sick in my stomach going, wow. There's a nice guy trying to build a business for his family and it got ripped right from under him by people that make millions and millions that just wanted to make a few more millions just to rob from that. It made me sick. But that's how some companies operate. I had someone ask me today, I met with $1 million earner and a $500,000 earner, both from the same company that I was meeting with a bunch of in Calgary. And you know what one of them said? They go, we started talking about this poaching and they go, yeah, that goes on all the time, but you can't control that. Maybe right now with 750 agents you can. He goes, but when you have X number, big amount of agents, he said how many they have. He goes, you can't control that. And I said, yes, I can. He goes, no. He goes, because people are going to do what they're going to do and they're going to take people and this and that. And I said, no, they're not. Because there's only one person that controls that right here, meaning like head office, like myself, Leanne, one of our staff. We're the only ones that can do that. See, some companies give too much power and control to the sales force. And then people get greedy and they start doing stupid things and they redirect. I'm going to put this guy under here and put this one over here. You can't let people have that kind of control because money and power get in the way. Leanne and I said to them straight up, no one can do it because we don't allow it. It's not allowed. We stop it at the top. Oh, These are guys that already make $1.5 million a year that have been screwed themselves and going, that's unbelievable. Apparently, when I got here, 3 hours after my meeting with them, they're still talking about us and we're all still meeting together, determining how to make a switch. That's exciting. You tell people the truth long enough, it catches. But there's multi-level, and that's some of the challenges. There's a lot of corruption I find that goes on in these organizations. And I came from a company, and sure, I was upset at the company I came from for a while. They're nothing compared to these other guys, how bad they were. But anyway, pros of some multi-level, and there's good companies that are out there too, right? In this world, the training and support system is valuable, right? Because you have mentorship and you have leaders before you that have a vested interest in your success. That can be powerful, right? I think of like Crystal with your team right here. How cool is it that they're a part of your business, right? You guys are all a part of her, right? Okay, I didn't quote you direct, no? Okay, so you guys are all a part of Crystal's business. Crystal has a vested interest in your success, but so do I, right? So does Experian. So there's extra support. There's layers of support in there. So that's some of the benefits of having the tier structure. There's going to be extra levels of support in there because when people have a vested interest in your success, now they can justify taking time away from their family on a Tuesday night to be here training you, right? But let's be honest, because you might think, oh, you just want to override me. This is a business, okay? I mean, I like you guys, but I love my family, okay? I'm here to train and work with you guys so that you become successful, make money. And that also helps me and my family. Okay. So don't like, some people get all bent out of shape about overrides, but it's like, there has to be a vested interest to be able to take time away from your family to build the business, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? I think it makes sense, no? Okay. Makes sense to Crystal. Yeah, right. And the more team you have, I used to think the more work-life balance you have, but that's not true. The more leaders you have, the more work-life balance you have. But in the beginning, when you're building your team, it's up and coming, you have no freedom. I mean, you're working your tail off if you want to build an agency, right? So I just want to be real. I don't want to ever tell someone, oh yeah, you just come in here, recruit 10 people and it's easy. No, recruit 10 people, train the crap out of them, wait 5 years till they're independent and know what they're doing and run their own agencies. Now it's easy, right? But it takes time to get to that point. Part-time is available, right? That's always a good thing because it's nice to see some people keep their house when they get in the financial industry, right? You get to keep your house and your spouse, right? That's important, right? Because, you know, in a lot of companies, if you have to go full-time and it's commission only, right? Like a lot of them out there, that's tough for someone that's maybe in their 40s with a couple of young children, right? That's tough. But if you can start part-time and then make a nice transition, it makes it a lot easier, okay? Override other agents, right? In the MLMs, you can recruit people, you can generate overrides. But some of the cons, there's low compensation typically, lack of professionalism, huge turnover, difficult to maintain an income, limited products, and the company owns your business. Again, we took all of the pros in that system and left all of the cons where they are. And then we look at the captive agent pay. This is kind of middle of the road. Crystal, you were a captive agent when you got into the broker world, right? Initially. The major obstacle for many career captive agents is that it's mandatory that they're full-time. From the very beginning, they're required to pay high fees to maintain a role as an agent with these firms. There's a limited opportunity for advancement to management levels as a captive agent. However, the brand recognition can also be a huge advantage for many of these agents building their books of business. So here's the pros and cons. Training and support is definitely there. Professionalism, brand recognition. The cons, you have to be full-time. The fees are high, fewer options for clients, no overrides unless you're in the management roles, difficult to advance, and the company owns your book of business, okay? Again, we have all the pros and none of the cons. So why Experian? We took the best and left the rest, literally. There's MGA bonuses, great investment comp, multiple tiers so you can build a team and even a hierarchy. Hierarchy means you can actually develop multiple teams of agencies outside of your own over time. Brand recognition is obtained immediately through our partnerships, right? See, every time we sit down with a client, we show them that presentation, we have CPP, Manulife, all the different companies on there. That gives us instant credibility with the families that, hey, we have direct contracts with all these companies. They chose to do business with Experian, and that's the brokerage I represent. So even though people might go, well, how old's Experian? I've had this. How old's Experian? Oh, we're a little over 4 years old. But Manulife's been in business since the earth cooled, right? So check it out. We got Manulife. Oh, right? So say that kind of stuff, right? Full service in-house debt and mortgage solutions. We also have home and auto. Training, support, and systems. Extremely low fees, $35 a month. It's a good deal. the brand is being built properly. We get rid of crooks. You know, it's so cool. When we started the company, if someone was like doing shady, it didn't happen. Well, it did. They got rid of them. But if someone was doing like shady, you'd almost like want to turn a blind eye. Like, I hope they're just doing legit business. Now, if I even get a smell of shady, I'm all over them because there's no fear of loss anymore. It's like, you know, you get to a point where it doesn't matter. No one person at Xperia is too important that we couldn't get rid of them if they're doing shady stuff. It's just not worth it for the rest of everybody else to have bad agents in their business. But some people will hold on to these people. We won't. I don't care if the person's making $5 million a year like this one guy that I've now heard a lot of stories about. If they started doing things like that, I would terminate them so fast. I'll be in court fighting a lawsuit if they tried to come after me, because there's no way that I would let that kind of garbage go on in this company, right? We want to run a good, ethical, compliant organization, right? What's that? Oh, thanks. He said, awesome. He said it was awesome. So it was awesome. So great leadership, ground floor opportunity with a 4-year track record of success, integrity. And I know that I actually don't like people that say, you can trust me, I have integrity. Most of those people don't have integrity, mostly. If you have to tell people you have integrity, usually you don't. So I'm just going to put it there. I'm not saying I have integrity, but I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying I'm going to put it there, okay? Because I don't like the people that say it, because then they don't. I'm just going to throw it up there, let that sit for a while.
You can read it, but I didn't say it.
That's right. No, but, and here's the thing, man. It takes that much talent to have integrity. That much. It takes more talent to be deceitful, right? It takes no talent to have integrity. Just be real, right? I mean, my biggest problem is my lack of filter, right? I tend to say what flows into my brain. I just think of crap and I say it. I'm like, I can look at someone, I'll see something weird about them. I'll be like, why is he wearing a purple shirt? That's weird. But I thought he was a dude. No, you know? So, but anyway, but whatever. I don't have to hit the I'm blown away. The reason my belief level just continues to climb and climb and climb the longer we've been in business, because the more people I meet and the more I hear about stories, the more my belief level climbs. I'm like, oh my God, if they have that many agents and that's how they carry on, game over. It's done. Multiple locations. We're at number 20 now. Own your book of business from day one. And as a company with leaders, and a company with leaders who have a vision to develop the largest, most successful team of advisors in the Canadian marketplace. Now, I'm going to go to something here that's pretty cool that I want to end with tonight. By the way, can I get some feedback from you guys on an individual basis? If you send me a text, send me an email. I want some honest feedback on if you learned stuff from this and if you'd like to me to incorporate other things for the next sessions, because I'm going to be doing this for 10 weeks with y'all, 10 or 12, whatever I said. Yeah. So I do want some honest feedback on what else you'd like to learn and hear about. Maybe I hit something on assumption that you really want to know more. Maybe I'll do something where 30 minutes of assumption is a part of my next meeting. But the more feedback you give me, the more well prepared I'll be coming back next week to do this as well. Okay? Yes, Crystal.
Can you give an agenda of what you're going to be training?
Nah.
It's amazing that you have a person.
I'll try, but I might deviate from it. I'm not gonna lie, but I will try. Okay.
Next time, talk more about faith life.
What?
Faith life.
You want more about faith life?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get the whole seller coming next week. I don't know enough about them. No.
That will be the one
Whatever you need to do, but I want to know more.
What my goal is with this training is, yes, we'll talk a little product, but my goal is also to help with a little bit of mindset, like just get you thinking right, you know? Like there's only so much training and crap that you can get from a product. The cheat sheet is going to be valuable. I'm going to show you guys where that is before I leave. Please remind me at the end. Good point. But I want to teach you sales techniques. I got one of my classes. I'm just going to talk about selling and prospecting techniques.
Okay.
That's the kind of value that I can provide because that's what I'm really good at. This was more just a generic, I want to get you guys understanding like some of the different products and the advantages and stuff like that. This was generic on this. It's up to you guys to kind of dig in and learn more details on this. I'll touch on things, but I really want to talk how to recruit, how to sell, how to, you know, make eye contact when you meet with people, right? There's little things, and most of you guys, by the way, I'm looking around the room, everyone here, when I meet you and you look me in the eyes, and that's maybe so elementary, but a lot of times when we're training people, they need to be taught that stuff. I know when I started, I was always nervous to kind of look in people's eyes. And when you don't, people think you're shady, right? And it was hard. And then when I finally learned to look people in the eyes, I'm like, okay, right or left eye. And I swear I was bouncing, and I'm like, I hope they don't know I'm bouncing. I don't know. And still to this day, if someone's got like something like a cross eye, that throws me out like this. See, I used to have a lazy eye, so I can do that. So, yeah, I know they can see me. But how many, now maybe it's just me and my insecurity with myself or something. When I see someone with a cross eye, I'm like, right? And by the way, and I can make fun of that because I have a cross eye, just so you know, I have a lazy eye. So. Hold on, let me finish training. You guys can discuss that all you want. Okay. So my point is, I like to sometimes feel uncomfortable. Sometimes I'm opening something different. Sometimes I like to take it back to basics, just like Vince Lombardi at the start of every football season. He would hold up the football and say, gentlemen, this is a football. And he would go right back to the basics. So when I do get into my sales training, don't be insulted that I'm going to talk about eye contact. It's a part of it, right? I mean, little thing. I talk to people about how to dress, right? If you're a woman, wear clothes up here in a client's home, right? You don't know what, if the woman's insecure or something, right? And it's professional, you know, stuff like that. Guys, if you have earrings, that's cool if you want to wear them. I'm just telling you that some people judge on little things. Now, in the younger market, for sure they won't. I mean, like 99% of people, you could have a tattoo here in most of the younger generation. But if you're in the older generation market, right, little old school, they kind of look at someone, oh, earring there, what's wrong with him, eh? Right? Like, this is what I'm just saying. Like, why put up any obstacle that's not necessary if you want to build a business? Mauro Arturi had a great close to our meeting last night, right? Mauro's got almost 300 licensed advisors in his company right now with Experior. He had a great close, and he said, you know what, when I joined this industry 22 years ago, he joined with another company. He goes, I came to the meeting in a leather jacket. I forget what he said he had for pants on. He says, I had long hair down to here. He used to be he used to play in a rock. He used to play in a rock. He goes, within 2 weeks, I cut all my hair off. He goes, I took out my earrings because I rational. So obviously, but this is the kind of stuff that we have to make sure when we're recruiting people that we help them, right? And there's ways to say it and ways not to say it, right? Wanted to show you here. This is really cool, and then we're going to end the meeting because I got 4 minutes left. I created something that I'm going to share with you guys. It's on the back office now as well. And remind me to show you where it is, not the cheat sheet. This is even cooler. So I put a dream calculator in here. Okay? That's right. That's what it is. So listen, watch this. Let's just assume that the average insurance client is 1,000 of FYC and 20,000 of investments. Fair? Okay. Who here thinks they could do 4 of those a month someday in their career? 4 clients a month. 20,000 investment, 1,000 FYC every week. Okay. So that means you're going to do 4,000 of FYC and you're going to do 80,000 of personal investments in a month. Okay? That's right. No, if you sell seg funds. Yeah. Yeah, seg funds. Mutual funds pays a bit less, but let's just talk seg funds. Now, let's assume that you have 3 different levels in your organization, okay? So you have financial advisors, which are entry level. Do you think it's possible at any point in time in your business when you're running your own agency, you could have 5 or 6 financial advisors running around, kind of new, getting their feet wet, right? It's possible? Okay. And do you think at some point we could get them doing collectively at any given month, you have about 10 sales a month coming in from your financial advisors?
Yeah.
So I'm talking, this might take
a time frame, right?
with 3 years.
3 years, sure.
Okay. Maybe 3 months for some years, but let's say 3 years. Okay. Okay. So that means you got another 10,000 of FYC, right? And then you got 100,000 of investments coming from your financial advisor. Sorry, that'd be 200,000 of investment. But you know what? They're not as experienced. So let's go half. They're only averaging 10,000 per insurance client. Now, senior financial advisors, a little more experienced. They're still not rocket scientists, but they're stepping up a bit. Let's just say same thing. Sure. At some point in your business, you have this going on.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years, it should be a lot quicker than that, but that's okay. But I'm just saying at some point in your career, let's just say you had some senior financial thing, 10,000. Okay, I'm trying to make this as realistic as I can for everybody, okay? I want everyone to believe that this is possible in your business at some point. For some of you, you'll believe this is possible to do in 6 months. Some of you might not believe, hey, maybe I could do this in the next 5 to 6 years, maybe 10 years, right? But at some point, you believe this is possible. Now, your sales managers, these are higher full-time guys, mostly gals. So let's just say they've got 3 or 4 of them, and they're doing 20,000, 20 sales each. Can you buy into that? Right? At some point in your career, okay, 20,000. And now let's say you're going to be doing 20. Let's say they're only doing 10,000 per client. They're not as good in the investments.
So
Oops, that's too much. Okay. So your agency is helping 44 clients a month, and you're averaging just over 10,000 of investments per client between you and your entire agency. This might be 20 advisors. This might be 30 advisors, depending if they're part-time, no time, full-time, right?
So if I have an agency, where do I fall?
Your personal, right there.
Okay.
And these are people in your agency now at 3 different levels. These are our 3 different levels in the agency. Some have reached higher levels. Some are newer starting off, okay? Now, at some point in your career, let's just pretend that you also promote someone else out of your agency that does the exact same thing. Well, let's just say 48,000, because that's what you're doing. No, 44,000. Okay? And they're also doing 480,000 of investments each month. And let's just say they promote one as well. That's a second generation. So now this guy lives in another town or city or province, okay? Oop. And they're doing the same. I don't know why we settled on these numbers, but basically your agency is helping 44 clients a month. You've already promoted a leader at some point helping 44 clients a month. And then they've also promoted a leader helping 44 clients a month. I'm going to stop there. Okay? Because I'd like to think that everyone in this room believes that you could personally do that at some point in your life. Okay? Daniel? Okay, the younger you are, the more you should believe this, because the real world hasn't kicked your ass enough yet. And by the way, the more you believe this, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, according to Napoleon Hill, who studied many people in the 1800s, including, yeah, I mean, he studied Henry Ford, he studied, all the most successful people that were in their day, the equivalent of billionaires in today's day and age, okay? If you can believe it, you can achieve it. But again, it takes massive action and all that stuff. I mean, there's more to it than just that. But watch this. Guess how much you're going to make. How much do you think you're going to make if you can build a business like that?
I'm going to say
710,000 a year. Not quite 3 million. Xperia wouldn't even make. we would make like 900 on that. Right? Do you see that though? 710. Now, some of you might think, well, Jamie, I don't know if I could do that, but maybe I could just do this part. Maybe you don't believe that you could find a leader as good as you yet. But maybe you believe that you could get 44 clients a month coming through your agency. You're helping 4, and you could do about 480,000 a month of investments between all of your agents. Maybe it takes 20 advisors to do it. Maybe it takes 40. I don't know the numbers. Everyone's numbers are different. That's a fact, by the way. I have agencies where they have way too many people with way less production. I have others that have few people doing lots of production. It depends on the leadership. It depends on if they're full-time. Depends on what your preference is. Do you want part-time agents in your business? Some people only want full-time agents in their business. Some people want to train people from the greenies. Some people just want to go after the big shots, right? So it all depends on your business. I can't tell you what it's going to look like for you. I got to mute this. Hold on. But watch this. If you just have an agency helping 44 clients a month on average, your income is $500,000. Ain't that something? Not bad, eh? $500,000 a year. So now I'm going to ask you guys a question. Who in this room, who on this webinar believes that at some point in your career with Xperia, for you as an individual, that could be possible. If the numbers I'm showing you are true, and by the way, they are, this is math, math is science, science is facts. These are the numbers. Who here thinks that's something they could do at some point in their career? And hey, guess what? Even if you don't, that's okay. That's a big number. I get it. It's a huge number. But what if you could do half of that? What if you could do a quarter of that? I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, sometimes it takes time to get to another level of belief, right? Believe me, I spent 10 years in financial services. Best year ever was $124,000 in commissions. Best year ever after 10 years. 4 years later, making this money plus, okay? You understand? Life can change. I didn't believe anymore it was possible for me. I thought I was leaving financial services for good. I thought I was done. I was literally going to go to this brokerage, you can ask Leanne, and I was going to just flip a bunch of business, make a bunch of commissions, didn't even care if they sued me. I was like, screw it, I'm going to leave the industry anyway. Sue me all you want. I got nothing. I was just going to flip my business, make some money. Guess what? In the process of flipping my business, when I say flip my business, I was offering better value. I was a broker now, I had access to more stuff. I fell in love with this industry again. I had a new lease on life in terms of this industry, and it's absolutely changed our lives over the last 6 years leading up to starting Experian and building what we know as Experian. By the way, if you're a good producer, if you're a good personal producer and that's your focus, I expect you to make $250,000 a year on your own pen or pushing buttons, because now we have e-apps, right? I expect that to happen. Why can I expect that? Because I was a good producer, not great. I was just good. I wasn't even a great producer. I never dealt with high net worth. I made $250,000 my first year as an independent broker. Now, 10 years experience in the industry, selling, move and shake and all that. So it took time. Don't get me wrong. I could never say year one, I made $250,000. No, I didn't. I made like 13 grand. Actually, my first year, I made 13 grand full time. That was fun. I'm not joking. Made 44 my second year, made 100 grand my third year, and then flatlined for the next 7 years after that. Actually dipped, right? So, but here it's a different world, right? We've got access to so many tools. So guys, that's all I want to leave you with tonight. So hopefully you got something out of that. Again, send me messages. One last thing. Okay, you reminded me. So go to the website right over here. Uh-oh. How do I do this? No, this one. Only an email. But good idea. We should incorporate Leanne. Yeah, good. We should do that. That's awesome. So you're going to go over here now. You're going to go over here to the products tab right there. Click on this insurance provider sweet spot. You all see that? Under the products, insurance provider sweet spot. And then it's a nice little 2-pager deal. Print that little deal off, and there you go. Every single thing I just covered tonight is on those 3 pages. Okay? So there you go. That's right there. And then the last thing I was going to show you. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, no, I can't do this. I can't get this. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
If I want to sell, do I have to have a first piece of business or to get a contract?
It depends on the company. So with La Capitale, no. SSQ, no. Humania, no. Assumption, no. Manulife, no. I think the only one that you need,
CBD, yes.
The only one is CPP. You need a first piece of business. And no, IA, you don't. No, you don't. No. IAX to launch, you do. No, SSQ, you don't either. Not anymore. We've changed it. Not anymore. Yeah. That was more an internal thing because of the headaches, but in Ontario only then, right?
Because there's so much pages.
Yeah, okay. So SSQ, we want a first piece of business only in Ontario. Yeah, until they go a little easier on their contracting, because it's a nightmare, their contracting sometimes. Okay, the last part I was going to show you guys, remember I showed you that dream calculator?
Yeah.
Go to financial calculators, and I just added it here today. So there's also a sales manager one, okay? Because a lot of people in this room are sales managers, right? So as a sales manager, you can view your commissions and if you did so much production. The other part I didn't even show you about, and then there's the executive director dream calculator. But the other one I didn't even show you about is this one. You can add up your assets under management You can put in your personal and your team and your hierarchy one day, and then you can see how much that would pay you a month and how much that would pay you a year based on assets under management. Because you also make residuals on your team and everything, right? So that's a cool little thing. That's a little bonus that we added there. I got bored on a 3-hour flight to the airport. Now I want to show you guys something. Yeah, I want to tell you guys something. I put in some examples because I had a company that they have our like presentation now, and they're actually going out and trying to recruit people from us using our presentation because we just took like 40 of their guys. So now they're like trying to spin it. So they went from, they don't have any generational overrides at all. So the system just fell apart. Now they have generational overrides. But here's the problem. It was too late for them. They're this small. So I'm like, okay, yeah, now you have 7 and so do we, but yours are this small. So guess what I did? I ran their numbers. I actually built the whole platform. I'm not sharing it with the public because, you know, I don't want to get friggin' trouble. But I did it myself. And I'm using it one-on-one. So if you ever have a meeting with one of these people, I'll tell you who they are. If you ever have a meeting, just let me know who it is. And I'll tell you which one of them. And I'll show you this thing. I actually put in our numbers with our leaders and what they would do. Boom, 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 boom. And then I put in their leaders, their numbers. Boom, 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 boom. Using the exact same system that they have versus ours with the exact same numbers at all the different levels. With theirs, it would pay the leader, the builder, $376,000 in the example I used. Ours was $986,000. Almost triple the commissions to build a business here than to build it there with their system that's completely flawed and nothing even close to ours. I was excited. So thanks for giving me some motivation because now we're probably going to have to recruit more of you people because of that. And it wasn't my fault because you made me do it. So anyway, guys, have an awesome night. Keep killing it. Thanks.
So you're gonna talk about the
Thanks, guys, for tuning in, eh?